Today in this video we want to briefly go over industrial motors, and specifically, because most industrial motors are this type, the squirrel cage induction motor. Almost every industrial motor, or most of them, are squirrel cage induction motors. Induction motors contain no brushes or slip rings. The current in their rotors is induced from current in their stators. Most of these squirrel cage induction motors come in a synchronous motor form, which means they have a constant speed. And this is important for such applications as using them in clocks. They operate at a fixed speed regardless of the load applied or applied voltage, and they will stall if the applied current is not sufficient to provide the necessary torque to maintain synchronous operation. So basically, they are pre-designed to operate at a constant speed, and therefore if the forces on them are increased, then the amount of current also has to be increased to meet that so that it can keep flowing, moving at a synchronous speed. For those that need industrial motors with variable speed, DC motors are the ones that are generally applied there. So once again, industrial motors, almost all of them are squirrel cage induction motors, and it got this name because if you take it apart and look at it, it looks like a squirrel cage. Two rings and attaching rods around it basically, and then of course it's encased from there. No brushes or slip rings. Basically, a current is applied and it spins the magnetic current, the magnetism built up and then moves in the same direction as the current and moves that way. It's like a little mini power generator basically, but basically the current in their rotors is induced from the current in their stators. Most of the ones we talked about were synchronous motors. They have a constant speed. DC motors, if you want a variable speed. So just a basic introduction then to squirrel cage induction motors and other industrial motors. If you'd like to learn more about this and related matters, then underneath this video you'll see a link. If you'll click on that link, it'll take you to the website that has that information, and while you're on that website you'll also find a link to an ebook that's ready for immediate download.